The visual of blood dripping onto the white canvas is usually reserved for the most violent of wars, but tonight, the carnage wasn't physical, it was systematic. Imagine the most powerful dynasty in the history of this business, the Bloodline, standing in the center of the ring, surrounded by the broken bodies of security guards, looking like they own the world. They think they are untouchable. They think the board is scared. But then, the static cuts, the lights flicker to a cold, piercing blue, and a sound hits the speakers that sends a physical shiver through every single person in that arena. It's the sound of a kingdom being reclaimed. It's the sound of the billion-dollar princess coming home to burn down everything you thought you knew about power. By the end of this night, the Bloodline won't just be bleeding, they'll be begging for mercy. Before we dive into the absolute madness of this corporate takeover, I want to take a second to speak to all of you. Running SLAMZONE isn't just about reporting on wrestling, it's about this family we've built together. Every time you like a video or share your theories in the comments, you help keep this dream alive. Life can be tough, and sometimes wrestling is the only escape we have. So, if you've ever felt like an underdog, or if you just love the passion of this sport, please hit that subscribe button, join our notification squad, and stay a while. It means more to me than you'll ever know. Now, look at the ring. The atmosphere is thick enough to choke you. Solo Sikoa is standing there with that 1,000-yard stare, his hands wrapped in tape, looking like a man who has forgotten what it means to feel pain. Beside him, the gorillas of destiny are pacing like caged animals. They've spent months turning Friday nights into a crime scene. Adam Pearce is in the hospital. The referees are terrified. There is no law. There is only the Bloodline. The crowd is a mix of terrified silence and low, rumbling boos. You can see the sweat glistening on Solo's brow under the bright arena lights. He picks up the microphone, but before he can utter a single word of his usual "acknowledge me" rhetoric, the world stops. The "no chance in hell" theme doesn't play. No, this is different. It's deeper. It's darker. It's the return of the Queen. Stephanie McMahon walks through that curtain, and for the first time in years, the air leaves the building. She isn't wearing a glittery dress or a smile for the cameras. She is draped in a sharp, midnight black suit, her hair pulled back with military precision. She looks like she's walking to a funeral and the Bloodline is the casket. She doesn't run. She doesn't play to the fans. She walks with the weight of 40 years of wrestling royalty behind every step. Every footfall on that steel ramp sounds like a hammer hitting a nail. As she climbs the steps and enters the ring, the Bloodline tries to intimidate her. They surround her. Solo steps forward, chest out, breathing heavy, trying to use his massive frame to shrink her. But Stephanie doesn't blink. She stands her ground, looking up at him with eyes that have stared down giants, legends, and monsters. The tension is so high you can practically hear the camera shutters clicking from the photographers at ringside. The crowd is starting to chant, a low hum of Stephanie that grows into a roar. She raises the mic. Her voice isn't screaming, it's a cold, calculated whisper that carries to the very last row of the nosebleeds. She tells them that the vision is over. She tells them that the era of chaos has met its match. She looks at Paul Heyman, who is trembling in the corner, and she utters the words that changed the landscape of WWE forever. "I'm not my father, Paul. I'm much worse." Think about the weight of that. For years, we feared the wrath of Vince. We feared the pink slip. But Stephanie? She isn't looking to fire people, she's looking to erase them. She announces right then and there that the Bloodline is under corporate audit. Every title, every contract, every drop of blood they've spilled, it's all being called into question. You can see the confusion on Solo's face. He knows how to fight a man, but he doesn't know how to fight a McMahon who has nothing left to lose. This is where legends are made, right here in the eye of the storm. The crowd is absolutely electric. This isn't the soft corporate WWE we've grown used to. This is a war for the soul of the company. Stephanie is bridging the gap between the locker room and the boardroom, and she just filled the power vacuum with liquid nitrogen. Halfway through this absolute bombshell of an evening, I have to ask, how are you guys holding up? My heart is racing just talking about it. If you're enjoying this breakdown of the Queen's return, please hit that like button, subscribe to SLAMZONE, and join the family for more intense wrestling breakdowns every week. We're just getting started. The back and forth in that ring continues, and you can feel the energy shifting. Solo finally breaks his silence, snarling that he doesn't answer to corporate suits. He takes a step toward her, a clear threat of violence. The crowd gasps. The gorillas of destiny move in. It looks like we're about to witness something truly horrific, a woman being attacked by three of the most dangerous men in the world. But Stephanie doesn't move. She simply says, "Check the screen." On the Titantron, a document appears. It's a brand-wide tournament announcement. But there's a catch. A deadly catch. She declares that every member of the Bloodline and anyone who has stood with them is effectively suspended pending the results of this tournament. If they lose, their contracts are void. They aren't just losing matches, they are losing their livelihoods. She is effectively firing them by making them fight for their lives. The shock on Heyman's face says it all. The wise man knows. He knows that the Queen hasn't just come back to play, she's come back to rule. The highlight of the segment was that cold-blooded face-off where she looked through Solo and into the very history of the Anoa'i family. She's putting everything at stake, every title, every contract, and the very future of the OTC Roman Reigns. As she exits the ring, the Bloodline is left standing in the center, looking vulnerable for the first time in their lives. They are monsters, but the monsters finally have something to fear. The Queen has returned to her throne, and the statement has been made. It's going to be a long, cold winter for the Bloodline. What a moment! This is the kind of storytelling that reminds us why we love this business. It's about more than just moves, it's about legacy, redemption, and the raw power of authority. Is Stephanie back to save us, or is she just a new villain we didn't see coming? Let us know in the comments below. Before we go, I want to thank you again for being here. You are the heartbeat of SLAMZONE. Please hit that like button, subscribe to SLAMZONE, and join the family for more intense wrestling breakdowns every week. I'll see you in the next one, where we'll see if the Bloodline can survive the Queen's ultimatum. Would you like me to expand on the specific matches she announced for this tournament?